Have you ever wondered why some people stay calm under pressure while others break down at the slightest challenge? Why do some individuals rise to power, wealth, and success while others remain trapped in cycles of frustration and failure? The answer is simple. They control their emotions before their emotions control them. Most people don't even realize they are fighting a war every single day. A war that isn't fought with weapons or fists, but with thoughts, feelings, and reactions. This war is happening inside your mind, and the truth is, if you don't learn to control your emotions, your mind will become your greatest enemy. It will sabotage your success, ruin your relationships, and keep you stuck in a cycle of weakness and regret. But here's the good news. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to take back control. You'll learn why most people fail at mastering their emotions and how you can break free. And if you stay until the end, you'll discover the ultimate mental strategy that high achievers use to dominate life. From the moment you wake up, your emotions are being tested. You check your phone, someone left a negative comment, you feel angry, you open your email, bad news from work, you feel anxious, someone cuts you off in traffic, rage takes over. This is how most people live, completely at the mercy of their emotions. They don't control their reactions control them. And here's the harsh reality. The world is designed to keep you emotionally weak. Think about it. Schools never teach emotional control. Social media thrives on outrage and impulsive reactions. Society encourages people to seek comfort, not discipline. Every system around you benefits when you are weak, easily offended, and quick to react without thinking. Because when you are controlled by emotions, you are easy to manipulate. When emotions rule your mind, you make bad decisions. You react instead of strategizing. You give up too soon when things get hard. You chase temporary pleasure instead of long-term success. This is why 99% of people never break free from mediocrity. They allow their emotions to run their lives instead of mastering them. Emotional weakness doesn't just affect your mindset, it destroys your entire life. It's the reason why most people never achieve their dreams. Why? Because success requires consistency, patience, and self-discipline. And emotional instability makes all three impossible. Think about it. How many times have you abandoned a goal just because you didn't feel like it? How often have you reacted emotionally and made a choice that you later regretted? Maybe it was walking away from an opportunity, lashing out at someone important, or quitting when things got tough. This is what separates the successful from the average. The weak act on emotions, the strong act on principles. The weak get offended, distracted, or discouraged. The strong stay focused, logical, and in control. And here's the ultimate truth. If you don't take control of your emotions, someone else will. Your boss, your enemies, the media, the government, they all win when you are reactive and undisciplined. The strongest people in the world don't avoid emotions, they master them. They use emotions as fuel instead of allowing emotions to control their actions. Success isn't about feeling motivated every day. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. This is what emotional control looks like. This is what self-mastery truly means. Most people don't realize that their reactions, their fears, and even their self-doubt aren't truly their own. They've been conditioned. Since childhood, you've been taught to react emotionally, not logically. When you cried as a child, someone rushed to comfort you. When you got frustrated, you were told to take a break. The world taught you to avoid discomfort instead of confronting it, and that's the problem. Success isn't built on comfort, it's built on discipline. The ability to push through even when you feel exhausted. The ability to stay focused when distractions are everywhere. The ability to control yourself when others lose control. Emotional mastery is not about feeling less, it's about reacting less. Right now, you need to make a decision. Are you going to keep letting emotions dictate your actions? Or are you going to reprogram your mind to stay in control? Because here's the truth. Your emotions are just signals. They are not commands. Successful people experience the same emotions as everyone else. They feel fear, doubt, and anger. But instead of reacting, they process, analyze, and respond with logic. They feel the fear, but they still take action. They feel frustration, but they channel it into something productive. The weak let emotions control their choices. The strong control their emotions to make better choices. This is what separates the elite from the average. It's why some people can stay calm in high-pressure situations while others break down. It's why some people succeed against all odds while others fold at the first sign of resistance. The world rewards those who stay in control. The biggest deals in business, the highest levels of power, and the most dominant athletes, they all share one thing in common: unshakable emotional discipline. And here's the best part: you can develop this skill too. Most people fail in life because they take everything personally. Someone insults them and they waste hours feeling offended. A business deal falls through and they quit instead of adapting. They let temporary emotions destroy long-term progress. But here's a mindset shift that will change your life. Stop personalizing everything. Not everything requires an emotional reaction. Not every problem is an attack on you. The world isn't against you. The world is indifferent. It's your job to navigate it without letting emotions cloud your judgment. If you can learn to detach your emotions from decision-making, you become untouchable. No setback can break you. No insult can control you. No failure can stop you. You stop reacting and you start dominating. Understanding the power of emotional discipline is one thing. Applying it in real life is where true strength is built. You can't just tell yourself to stay calm or stop feeling. That's not how the mind works. Instead, you need practical strategies that force your brain to operate differently. The first and most important strategy: create distance between your emotions and your actions. Most people react instantly to their emotions. They feel anger and they lash out. They feel fear and they hesitate. They feel doubt and they quit. This is emotional slavery. To break free, you must train yourself to pause. The next time you feel a strong emotion, whether it's frustration, fear, or even excitement, do nothing. Take a deep breath. Give yourself 5 seconds of silence before reacting. In those 5 seconds, you remind yourself emotions are not instructions, they are just information. And once you control that initial reaction, you regain your power. Most people feel overwhelmed because they focus on things outside their control. They stress over the economy, over what people think, over problems that may never even happen. But high achievers, they only focus on what they can control. If you waste energy worrying about things you can't change, your emotions will consume you. But when you shift your focus to solutions, to action, to progress, you regain control. The next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, take action. This simple shift in mindset is how powerful men stay composed under pressure. And they don't react, they adjust, adapt, and execute. There's a reason the most successful people in the world make decisions based on logic, not feelings. Because emotions are temporary, but decisions have permanent consequences. If you make choices based on how you feel in the moment, you'll destroy opportunities, relationships, and even your future. But when you step back and analyze the situation with logic, you start making decisions that serve your long-term goals. You ask yourself, is this reaction helping or hurting me? Will this matter a year from now? What is the smartest, most effective response? This is how you build emotional strength, by choosing logic over impulse, by responding with intelligence instead of reacting with weakness. Emotional control isn't something you achieve once and keep forever. It's a daily battle. Every single day, life will throw situations at you that test your patience, challenge your discipline, and provoke your emotions. If you're not actively training your mind, you will fall back into old habits. This is why mental strength must be developed just like a muscle through consistent practice and deliberate effort. One of the most effective ways to train emotional control is by exposing yourself to discomfort on purpose. Most people run from discomfort. They avoid challenges. They fear confrontation and they back down when things get tough. But if you do this, you are conditioning yourself to be weak. Instead, seek discomfort daily. Push yourself through hard workouts. Force yourself into difficult conversations. Step into situations that make you uncomfortable, because every time you do, you are teaching your mind to stay calm under pressure. Another powerful technique is detachment. When emotions hit, step outside yourself for a moment. Imagine you are watching your own life like a movie. If you were an outsider, how would you see the situation? Would you panic? Would you act out of anger? Or would you stay composed and make the smartest move? By creating this mental distance, you strip emotions of their power over you. You remind yourself that you are in control, not your feelings. The third method is self-talk. Your mind is always listening. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't handle this is too hard, or I'm not good enough, you are programming yourself for failure. Instead, take control of your internal dialogue. When pressure hits, tell yourself, I am in control. When fear creeps in, say, I don't break, I adapt. These small shifts in language have a massive impact on how you handle situations, because what you tell yourself becomes your reality. Emotional control is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about choosing your response rather than letting emotions dictate your actions. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who feel nothing. They are the ones who feel everything but still act with intelligence and strategy. Emotional triggers are the invisible chains that keep people weak, reactive, and easily manipulated. If you don't understand your triggers, you will always be controlled by external forces, by people, situations, and even your own past experiences. The first step to eliminating these triggers is awareness. Most people go through life reacting without ever questioning why. They get angry, frustrated, or sad without realizing what caused it. But the truth is, every emotional reaction has a root cause. Take a moment and reflect. What situations make you lose control? Is it criticism? Is it failure? Is it being ignored? Once you identify your triggers, you can begin removing their power. Because here's the secret. Your triggers only exist because you allow them to. If someone insults you and you get angry, it's not their words that hurt you. It's the meaning you attach to them. If you decide that words mean nothing unless you give them power, no one can control your emotions again. The second step is reframing. Instead of seeing challenges, setbacks, or negative situations as personal attacks, view them as opportunities to grow. If someone disrespects you, don't take it as an insult. See it as proof of your own superiority, because you don't need their validation. If life knocks you down, don't see it as failure. See it as a lesson that makes you stronger. When you change how you interpret the world, nothing can shake you. The third step is building emotional discipline. You cannot eliminate triggers if you react instantly to everything that happens. Train yourself to pause. When you feel anger rising, stop and breathe. When you feel frustration, take a step back. Give yourself time to respond instead of reacting, because power lies in control. The moment you stop letting external things dictate your internal state, you become untouchable. Most people let emotions drive their decisions, but champions use emotions as fuel. They don't suppress them, they harness them to push forward. The key is to stop reacting like a victim and start responding like a strategist. When things go wrong, losers complain. Winners adapt. When faced with adversity, weak minds break down, strong minds analyze, adjust, and keep moving. The difference isn't in what happens to them, it's in how they respond, because life doesn't care about your feelings. Success doesn't care if you're tired, angry, or hurt. The world rewards those who push through despite their emotions. Imagine this. You wake up feeling unmotivated, exhausted, or discouraged. What do most people do? They give in. They let their emotions dictate their actions. But that's exactly why they stay stuck. The high performers, the elite, they move forward regardless of how they feel. They know that action creates motivation, not the other way around. They don't wait to feel ready. They move first, and the feelings follow. The secret to true control is detachment, the ability to step outside of your emotions and see the bigger picture. Instead of being consumed by anger, fear, or self-doubt, learn to observe your emotions without letting them dictate your choices. Ask yourself, is this feeling helping me or holding me back? If it's not serving you, drop it. Because at the end of the day, emotions are just signals. They are not instructions. The ones who dominate in life are those who can take a hit and keep going. They don't let temporary emotions derail their long-term vision. They remain unshakable. And that's what separates the 1% from the rest. To become truly unshakable, you must reprogram the way your mind processes challenges. Most people see obstacles as roadblocks, but high achievers, they see them as tests. Every difficult situation is a chance to prove your strength, discipline, and resilience. The world isn't against you, it's challenging you to level up. Think about it. Every successful person you admire has faced setbacks, failures, and rejection. The difference? They didn't let emotions cloud their vision. Instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they asked, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? That shift in thinking is what makes them unstoppable. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. If you let emotions control you, you'll be stuck in a cycle of frustration and inaction. But if you train yourself to stay logical, calm, and focused under pressure, nothing will break you. When most people panic, you will strategize. When others give up, you will keep going. The truth is, life is going to hit you hard. There will be moments when you feel like everything is against you. But remember this. Pain is temporary. Weakness is a choice. Every time you refuse to quit, you are building a mind that can handle anything. You are proving to yourself that no challenge is bigger than your willpower. It all starts with one decision: to stop letting emotions dictate your life, to take full control of your thoughts, actions, and mindset. The first step in mastering your emotions is to embrace discomfort. This may sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. Growth only happens when you're outside your comfort zone. Emotions like fear, anger, and frustration are signs that you're on the edge of something bigger. Instead of running from them, lean into them. When you face discomfort head on, you train your mind to operate under pressure. You teach yourself to remain calm when everything around you is chaotic. This is where the real power lies. Most people shy away from discomfort because it feels painful. But true warriors know that without the struggle, there is no strength. So embrace the discomfort and see it for what it is. A sign that you're pushing yourself to become stronger, better, and more capable. Next, establish a routine of mental training. Your mind is like any muscle. It needs exercise to grow. Start your day with positive affirmations, set clear goals, and visualize yourself overcoming obstacles. The mind doesn't differentiate between reality and imagination. By consistently visualizing success, you're rewiring your brain to focus on solutions, not problems. But it doesn't stop there. Take time every day to reflect and recalibrate. Ask yourself the hard questions. How did I react today? What emotions controlled me? What could I have done differently? Self-reflection is key to understanding your triggers and fine-tuning your responses. Lastly, surround yourself with people who uplift you, not those who drag you down. The company you keep plays a huge role in your emotional state. Energy is contagious. When you surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better, it becomes easier to control your emotions because you're constantly being reminded of your higher purpose. As you begin to build these habits into your life, remember that progress takes time. The road to mastering your emotions isn't a straight path, it's a journey. But every day you commit to strengthening your mind, you are one step closer to becoming unshakable. Keep going and you will unlock the power to control your emotions and in turn dominate every aspect of your life. To truly dominate your life, you must understand that emotions are not your enemy, they are simply signals. When fear creeps in, it's not a sign of weakness, it's your body telling you that you're about to face something important. When anger flares up, it's a signal that something is out of alignment with your values. Recognizing these signals is critical. Emotions aren't random, and if you pay close attention, they will guide you. The key is not to let them control you. It's not to avoid them, but to learn how to use them to your advantage. Take fear, for example. Fear often stops people in their tracks. It convinces them that they're not ready, not good enough, or not capable. But in reality, fear is the doorway to growth. Every time you feel afraid, it means you're about to experience something you've never done before, something that can elevate your life. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, shift your mindset to see it as a signal to step forward, not step back. Each time you take action despite fear, you prove to yourself that you can handle anything life throws at you. Now let's talk about anger. Anger is often seen as destructive, but in reality, it's a powerful tool when channeled correctly. Anger shows you that something matters to you, that something isn't right. Instead of letting anger turn into bitterness, use it as fuel. Ask yourself, why am I angry? Is it because something important to you is being threatened? Use that energy to take action. Turn your frustration into motivation. Let that fire burn within you and drive you to make the changes you need in your life. Sadness, too, is a tool. When you feel sadness or disappointment, it's a signal that you care deeply about something. It means you're not living on autopilot. It means you are emotionally invested in your life, your goals, and your dreams. Sadness often comes before a breakthrough. It's the emotional release you need to move forward with clarity. Instead of hiding from sadness or trying to numb it, face it. Reflect on what it's teaching you. Understand it and use it to fuel your resilience. Understanding these emotions and learning how to use them as tools instead of obstacles is how you take control of your life. It's how you stop being a victim of your emotions and become the master of them. When you master your emotions, you control your thoughts, your actions, and your outcomes. You stop letting the external world dictate how you feel and instead begin to dictate how the world responds to you. You're not controlled by circumstances anymore. You're in control of the circumstances. This is the mindset of those who dominate life. They don't run from fear. They don't avoid discomfort. They don't suppress their anger or sadness. Instead, they confront it all head on and turn it into fuel for their success. They understand that emotions are not weaknesses. They are strengths waiting to be harnessed. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop letting your emotions control you? Are you ready to turn your fears, anger, and sadness into power? This is the foundation of mental mastery. The moment you begin to see emotions for what they truly are, you unlock a new level of control over your life. You step into a place where nothing can shake you. The world can throw whatever it wants at you, but you will remain unshaken, unmovable, and unstoppable. When you start mastering your emotions, you begin to unlock the power of mind over matter. Most people live their lives as if they're subject to the forces around them. They allow external circumstances to determine their mood, their actions, and even their destiny. But when you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. The moment you realize that your emotions are tools, not obstacles, everything changes. Your mind is one of the most powerful forces in existence. It's capable of achieving anything you set it to, but only if you have control over it. Without control, your mind can easily spiral into negative thought patterns, self-doubt, and self-sabotage. It can convince you that you're not good enough, that you're destined to fail, that the obstacles in front of you are insurmountable. But that's all a lie. The reality is that you are the one who decides what your mind focuses on. If you choose to focus on fear, it will grow. If you choose to focus on anger, it will consume you. But if you decide to focus on growth, on resilience, on improvement, your mind will begin to work in your favor. Your emotions will no longer dictate your life, but instead, you will use them to fuel your journey toward greatness. The key to this lies in awareness and mindfulness. The more aware you become of your emotions and your thought patterns, the more you can control them. If you're in a situation where you feel overwhelmed by stress or anxiety, you have the power to pause, take a deep breath, and choose to respond instead of react. This ability to pause, to think before you act, is where true power lies. When you can remain calm and focused, even in the face of challenges, you start to see things clearly. Your emotions no longer cloud your judgment. You make decisions based on logic, strategy, and what's best for your future, not on fleeting emotional reactions. This is the mindset of successful people. They don't make impulsive decisions based on how they're feeling in the moment. They are deliberate, thoughtful, and methodical. They take control of their emotions and use them to propel themselves forward rather than being held back. But don't get it twisted. Mastering your mind doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending that everything is always okay. It means understanding your emotions and choosing how to respond to them. It means embracing the discomfort of fear, the intensity of anger, and the weight of sadness, but never allowing these emotions to dictate your behavior or limit your potential. This is where the real power lies, in the ability to feel and experience life fully, yet remain grounded and focused on your goals. When you achieve this level of emotional control, you begin to unlock a new level of performance in your life. You stop letting your emotions hold you back. Instead, you use them to fuel your ambition, to drive you through challenges, and to create momentum toward the life you want to live. When you master your emotions, you become unstoppable. Nothing can shake you. No setback, no failure, no obstacle is too great for you to handle. You know that every challenge is an opportunity. Every failure is a lesson, and every emotion is just a signal that you can learn from. This is the mindset that separates the winners from the losers. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to wait for everything to be easy. You just need to take control of your emotions and use them to fuel your success. The power is within you. It always has been. Now it's time to tap into it and use it to create the life you deserve. Mastering your emotions is not an overnight process. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and consistent effort. But with every step, you gain more control over your life, and the rewards are immense. What you must understand is that the path to emotional control is not about perfection, but progress. You don't have to be flawless in every moment. You will feel anger, frustration, and fear. It's human. The key is not to be overwhelmed by these feelings. Instead, you must learn to recognize them, acknowledge them, and then consciously choose how to respond. Start small. Begin by observing your emotional triggers. What makes you angry? What makes you anxious? By pinpointing these triggers, you gain insight into why you feel the way you do. Self-reflection is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. As you practice this awareness, you'll begin to notice patterns and can start taking steps to shift your responses. For instance, when you feel anger rising, instead of acting out impulsively, try taking a moment to breathe. Ask yourself, what am I really upset about? Often, our initial emotional response is not the root cause of the issue. It's a surface reaction to something deeper. By pausing and reflecting, you give yourself the space to respond with a clear mind rather than a clouded one. As you continue to practice this awareness, you'll find that your reactions become less automatic and more thoughtful and controlled. Instead of being at the mercy of your emotions, you begin to become the master of them. This allows you to handle stress and pressure with a calm and clear mind. Remember, emotional mastery doesn't mean avoiding challenges or discomfort. In fact, the challenges are what build your emotional resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and you will inevitably face moments that test you. But how you react to those moments defines your future. Will you allow stress to paralyze you, or will you rise above it? Will you let anger control your actions, or will you channel that energy into something productive? The choice is yours. The more you embrace emotional control, the more empowered you feel. This empowerment doesn't just affect your emotions, it transforms your entire life. With control over your emotions, your relationships improve. You stop reacting out of frustration or insecurity, and instead you engage with others in a more thoughtful, intentional way. You'll notice a deeper sense of calm and clarity in your decision-making, and you'll make choices that are aligned with your goals, not just in the heat of the moment. This shift in mindset begins to affect every area of your life. You become more successful at work, more focused on your personal growth, and more fulfilled in your relationships. When you master your emotions, you unlock your true potential. This isn't a fantasy or a motivational slogan. It's a practical, achievable skill that anyone can develop. It requires patience and a willingness to work on yourself every day. But once you commit to this journey, you will see the change. You will see your life transform from chaos to order, from uncertainty to confidence, from mediocrity to greatness. Mastering your emotions isn't about avoiding pain or discomfort. It's about using it as a tool for growth. It's about developing the strength to handle life's challenges with composure and wisdom. Emotions are powerful, but you are more powerful. When you learn to harness that power, you become an unstoppable force, moving steadily toward your goals no matter what life throws at you. Take control now and make the decision that will change the course of your life forever. You are the master of your mind, and nothing can hold you back when you are in control of your emotions. Emotional mastery doesn't end with recognizing and controlling your emotions in the moment. It extends into creating new patterns that shape your future. The choices you make now in moments of emotional turmoil or peace will ripple through the rest of your life. The true power of emotional control lies in how you consistently apply it day after day. It's the small, daily actions that build the strong foundation for your future. When you master your emotions, you no longer live life on autopilot. You make conscious decisions about how to react, how to respond, and how to move forward. In every situation, you can choose to act from a place of power rather than being a slave to your impulses. But the question is, how do you build this strength? How do you form the habits and mental shifts that make emotional control a permanent part of your life? It begins with small actions. Start each day with the intention to be aware of your emotions. Before you react, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? How can I use this to improve my response? For example, when you feel a surge of anger rising, don't dismiss it or let it control you. Instead, pause for a moment, acknowledge the emotion, and reflect. Ask yourself, what's the real reason I feel angry? What can I learn from this? Sometimes anger masks other feelings like fear, hurt, or insecurity. By recognizing that, you can shift your emotional energy from reaction to introspection. Another powerful way to solidify emotional mastery is through mindfulness practice. Mindfulness is the art of being present in the moment without judgment. It trains you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. By practicing mindfulness regularly, you strengthen your emotional control because you are no longer swept away by every passing emotion. You can observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, and this awareness gives you the power to choose your response. As you continue to practice emotional control, you'll begin to notice shifts in your behavior. You'll be more patient, more thoughtful, and more present in your interactions. This shift may feel small at first, but over time it will become monumental. As you grow emotionally, you'll notice that the challenges you once struggled with no longer hold the same weight. You will begin to approach difficult situations with a sense of calm, confidence, and resilience. What used to shake you will no longer move you. With emotional mastery, you start to show up in the world differently. You won't be reacting to life circumstances, you'll be shaping them. This is where true power lies. The ability to choose your response in any situation is the ultimate form of freedom. When you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. This is not a journey that happens overnight. It requires consistent effort, reflection, and practice. But the rewards are undeniable. As you build emotional resilience, you will see changes not just in how you feel, but in your ability to influence the outcomes of your life. You become a force to be reckoned with, not because you react to life's challenges with force, but because you meet them with unwavering strength and calm. And the truth is, the more you practice, the easier it gets. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. Emotional mastery isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you choose emotional control over reaction, you are strengthening your ability to handle whatever comes next. And in doing so, you build a life of greater purpose, clarity, and success. Emotional control is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. It's the key to mastering your life and reaching your highest potential. And it starts with a decision to take charge of your emotions today. By taking responsibility for your emotional responses, you unlock a version of yourself that can weather any storm and seize any opportunity. So take a deep breath and commit to mastering your emotions. The path to success, peace, and fulfillment begins with you taking the reins of your emotional world. When you control your emotions, you control your destiny.